The moment that it already started to pop for me was when I was sitting in my new office that I had sort of inherited from a colleague. He had taken ill and he wasn't able to carry on anymore. He handed me the keys to the office and was like, here you go. But there wasn't any book of business or anything like that. It was literally just a storefront. I didn't really know what to do. There was no sign on the door. My name wasn't out there, but I had started kind of developing this plan as far as how I was going to build my practice. And I was like, look, I have to take a back to basics approach, right? This is my third career. I'd built other successful businesses. And I didn't really know how much overlap in my other businesses, especially at the world of entertainment, was going to overlap into running a law firm. And so, Google My Business was really coming out onto the scene really heavy. And so I invested a bunch of time into really learning that system and coming up with best practices that were, in theory, going to attract attention to this firm that I was trying to, launch off the ground here in rural Michigan. And I'll never forget, I was about 14 days in, and suddenly I'm sitting down at my desk, and I hear this knock on the door. Now, I had always had an appointment-only consultation sort of policy, but it didn't really matter because nobody was knocking on the door. This was not in a very high traffic location. And suddenly this guy is there and he's got cash in hand and he needs me for a criminal matter. And I asked him, I'm like, well, how'd you know I was here? How'd you find me? And he's like, well, I put in, best lawyer near me, and you popped up. And that is the moment that the light bulb went off in my brain. I went, whoa, this is going to work. This guy found me. I don't even have my name on the door yet of this office I sort of just inherited. And that cemented it in me. I mean, that was like, okay, this is going to work. And this is directly applicable to the process of law. And I could do this. I can make this happen. And from there was no stopping. I mean, it just exploded. And the coolest part about it all is it's not difficult. So many people are like, oh, well, I don't know about internet marketing, or I want to pay a firm to, launch everything and do everything for me. I don't have time for that. No, you don't have time to not do it, number one. And number two, if the average practitioner realized how simple it was, how easy it was, I mean, just to get down the basics, it would blow their mind. I mean, it would completely blow their mind. And the benefit is that if you actually take the steps to set up the basics, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the attorneys out there. I mean, I can go into any town. I'm convinced of this because I've been doing it. I can go into any town and start popping up, solo practitioners, typing their name into Google. Over 85% of them aren't even doing the basics. Google has no idea they're there. If somebody asks, get me a lawyer somewhere near me, they are not popping up, even if that person's standing next to their office. And it's these little tweaks, it's these little changes. I mean, literally, if you spend about 5-6 hours on the setup, maybe, to learn the entire everything about it, right? And that's if you're a slow learner. In about 14 to 21 days, you might be shocked. You might be shocked. And you better be ready because they're going to come knocking on your door with money. This is the stuff that we teach in Defender DNA. This is literally the playbook that we've used in other industries, and we've brought it over here into the criminal defense practice. And it's sort of the first step to launching a massively successful criminal defense firm. And you don't have to rely on just public defender gigs or contract work or eating all your spare time doing, document review. That stuff's great. There's a spot for that. There's a market for that. If that's what you love, awesome. But there is so much more out there. There's so much more out there. And quite frankly, you don't have to be in a big city to do this. In fact, I would argue that it's a lot easier in a smaller town. If you want to learn more, hit the link, jump over to the Stand Store, see what this is all about. If it's something that resonates with you, if it's something you want to learn, you want to jump on, get involved. We're here.